This drill is excellent for practicing your forward motion when looping the ball. Do you practice this regularly? This is a fantastic method for practicing spin generation. During practice, do you ever hit your hand or the edge of your paddle? I'm sure some of you do. It's very common to hit the edge of your paddle with this drill. Exactly this situation. Let me explain the principle behind it and you'll understand. So why do you hit the edge of the paddle? This happens because your stroke is only forward, with no upward motion. It's the same principle as your regular loop, but this drill makes it more distinct and clear. When you loop, you're only going forward. The reason is that generating spin requires an arcing motion, but you're just making a flat, forward movement. If you do this, you will definitely hit the edge. You could break countless paddles this way. I can even loop the ball with my shoe. See? I can even do it with a shoe. If I just add a little more forward drive, it works. That's the point. So, it has nothing to do with the paddle, it's an issue with your technique. This technique is actually harmful. As long as you generate good spin, you can counter any incoming spin. Don't open your paddle face. Opening it turns the stroke into a lift. So, during your loop practice, try this drill, and you'll immediately identify your problem. If you only move forward, you will always hit the edge of the paddle. You will constantly hit your hand or the paddle. Therefore, you must create an arc, moving both forward and upward. Once you establish this trajectory, your spin generation will be solid. First, you must understand this spin trajectory. This drill is extremely effective for that. If you only go up, the ball will hit the net. If you only go forward, you'll hit the edge. After hitting your hand or paddle a few times, the pain will teach you the lesson. So you must practice. Through practice, you'll understand why you were making a mistake. Imagine the brushing motion as drawing a rainbow. Generating spin is like creating that arc. After creating that rainbow arc, follow through with your forearm. Generating spin is a rainbow-like motion. You must have this trajectory in your mind. I feel that many amateur players either go straight up or, as I said, push straight forward, which is why their shots hit the net. Look at this brushing motion. If you can create that external arc, that little rainbow, your feel for spin will naturally improve. With a dragon in your left hand and a rainbow in your right, you can loop with both sides. The fourth key to generating spin is learning to use your finger power. I often do a test with everyone. Without a paddle, hold your hand in your grip. Start at hip level and rotate to your chest, then stop. Okay, now, rotate using only your wrist. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. For the second method, from the same hip to chest position, use your fingers to generate the force. Try it. We all know that no matter how tacky your rubber is, you must rely on your own brushing action on contact to create spin. And the speed of that brush determines the spin's intensity. The faster your contact, the more spin you will generate. The slower the contact, the less spin. This applies to serves as well. So, how can we increase the speed at the exact moment of ball contact? The faster the speed, the heavier the spin. How do you increase it? By using your fingers. Let me show you a comparison. If I loop using only my wrist, there's no spin, no matter how hard I try. The ball is dead. But if I use my fingers, the ball kicks off the table. Notice my wrist rotation speed hasn't increased. This is the effect of using the wrist. Now watch the effect of using my fingers. The difference in spin is massive. This is the difference between pros and amateurs, and why some players' loops are so spinny. Why is it that when I serve a hook serve, my opponents attack it? But when they do it, I always hit the net. Because their contact speed is faster. This is the secret. Let me tell you, when I was young and practicing the backhand flick and side spin serves, I had to pinch the paddle, and the skin here would completely wear off. The skin would tear, heal, and tear again. Now it's a callus because my skin was softer back then. Now my skin is thicker, and so is my face. This part of my skin was completely worn away. The skin would peel, and it hurt so much I had to use band-aids. It would rub down to the flesh, and the sweat would sting. Therefore, the force from your fingers must be far greater than you imagine to make the ball spin. Why do our loops and serves have no spin? Because out of all your body's power, very little is transferred at the moment of contact. There's no speed. You use 100% of your body's effort but only transfer 10% to the ball. Pros are relaxed and focus their power in their fingers, transferring 70% at contact. This subtle touch is all in the fingers. Because the fingers are the smallest and fastest moving unit, power is concentrated at impact, which is why it generates so much spin. In flat hitting, finger power is less important. But for loops, pushes, and serves, it becomes absolutely critical. Serve me a fast, heavy backspin ball to my middle. If I don't use my wrist, I can't lift it. Watch, I won't use anything else, just my wrist and fingers. Serve it with heavy spin. I don't need much power to lift it, right? I didn't even use my body. It's all in the fingers. If I don't engage my fingers, this is the result. You can swing with your whole body and generate no power. And then your opponent will just block it back for a winner. It's a perfect example. It feels like you're using a lot of force, but it's not being applied effectively. For this kind of shot, if you watch my fingers closely, you'll see it's the fingers driving the wrist to brush the ball on contact. If I add my forearm, I add quality to the shot. If I add my body, I'm adding my full kinetic chain, and the quality is even higher. With finger power, you have the basic guarantee of getting the ball over the net. If I'm not feeling confident, I'll use more finger and less arm power. But if I'm leading 9-4, I can be more aggressive and use my body to power through the shot. Wow, what a shot! But the prerequisite is that this moment of contact is the most critical part. The principle is the same for both penhold and shakehand grips. Are there players here who are aware of finger power but just can't seem to use it? Do you know why? The principle is simple. It's because our finger strength is limited. Since your strength is limited, how do you train it? I've been telling everyone to get a grip strengthener. Just squeeze it in your free time, and your fingers will get stronger. You have to train it. You can't use it because your fingers lack strength. First, build your physical capacity by training with a grip strengthener. Besides, exercising your fingers is also good for your brain and can help prevent dementia. The second thing, as I always say, is you must practice this ball rolling drill. I know it's tedious, but you can play some music. You must incorporate this into your practice. Once you do, you'll find the feeling. Listen to the sound of the rubber brushing the ball. When you can produce that sharp brushing sound, you've learned to generate spin. Master this, and it will improve all your strokes. Once you learn this brushing motion, your backhand will improve. And you'll always be able to find that brushing sound for your serves because the feeling for spin is universal. So what sound are most players making now? Many players make this flat, hitting sound because they're going forward without brushing the ball. This is pure impact. Some even stick the ball to the rubber. That is the sound of hitting. You must produce the brushing sound of friction. Watch him serve a few. That's the sound of the ball being fully gripped by the rubber. There's no sound of impact at all. It grips, then goes. The quality of this ball is on a completely different level. So, everyone, you must follow my advice and practice this ball rolling drill by yourself. You don't need a partner. Just do this 500 to 1000 times a day, and then go try looping on the table. You'll feel the difference. First, grip the ball to generate spin, then add a bit of forward impact, and you'll be able to loop effortlessly. Once your spin generation is good, you can add power freely. It really becomes so easy. Some players bounce the ball before looping. That's useless. You must create the arc by rolling the ball like this. Join as a member for early access to new videos and to unlock exclusive members-only shorts. Thank you for supporting the channel's growth.